I do have to share this with you. I went into Aldi's just for a quick run, and I'm loading my cart, and it's going through, and I got my meat, keto cookies, protein yogurt, some vegetables, feeling pretty healthy. We're gluten-free, but we do try to eat, well, me and my husband try to eat pretty healthy. Low carb. Those granola bars are for one of my other boys. And then here comes this. I was really wondering what she thought, but I didn't say anything. But this is for my type 1 diabetics. When he gets low, I don't usually find these except during the holidays, but I like them because there is no, can't say it's always the best ingredients, but there is no dye in them. Food coloring, I guess is what I mean. So I had to share that with you. Okay, I have 2 shoulder roasts here. I'm sort of just sliced them, and I'm put some oil and seasoning on them, and I'm going to get them in the oven. And I'm just sort of prepping some food. Like I said, I just went to Aldi's. I'm just trying to prep that so it doesn't get wasted. Probably will cook up the mushrooms tonight with the roast, and the boys will have green beans and rice. So I wanted to share that also while I'm making my muffins tonight. Okay, here is dinner with the rice and green beans. And those were fresh green beans that somebody gave us. So, and here is more of a low carb, the meat with the mushrooms, and I found a little bit of cabbage left, so I went ahead and cooked that up. So just wanted to share the dinner. My husband will eat this, and one of the boys will eat this. So. I am going to make gluten-free pumpkin muffins today. Of course, they will have chocolate chips in them. So, okay, I've already put the eggs in here and cracked them and mixed them, and I am following a recipe. I have a general idea of what's in there. I just like to check with the measurements, but this is going to be a pumpkin muffins. You can also substitute I think it actually was originally banana. I substitute the pumpkin, but probably for each can of pumpkin, you'd want to do 4 to 5 mashed bananas. Now, I am doubling the recipe because I have 2 pans I want to fill. My boys like to eat these for breakfast and maybe sometimes a snack, especially before bed. So, so right now I have the eggs. I am going to add the oil, and I use grapeseed oil. And it is regularly a 1/2 cup, but I'm going to put 2 cups in. Okay. And then the sugar, which I mentioned before that I use coconut sugar, and it's about 1 cup. But I am getting low on coconut sugar, and the prices are going up. Not on everything, but when you already have to make the purchases of some things. And so I'm going to use half of this, which is no cheaper, but I already have it. So I'm going to stretch both as long as I can here. So I'm going to put 1 cup of and 1 cup of Gentle Sweet from Trim Healthy Mama, which is a erythritol and stevia mix, which is fine. I do a lot of baking with that for myself and my husband, but sometimes I'll throw it in there. There's if that's what we need. So, and then the pumpkins. I'm just using pumpkin from Aldi's. And because I'm doubling it, I will use 2 cans. kids will eat them. So I'm going to go ahead and add my vanilla now, which is 2 teaspoons, which I'm just going to guess, but it is, well, if I double it, then that would be 4. Okay, so that was the vanilla. Okay, I got the wet ingredients mixed. It calls for 2 cups of oats, and actually this is a recipe that I found on the back of a bag. There's some gluten-free flour, and I have adjusted it. Like, I don't think it actually even called for oats, but I always use 2 half flour, half oats. So I doubled it. So and I've already grinded the oats. So I doubled it to 4 cups. And then I have this small bag. We'll have 4 cups of flour. This size bowl is perfect for doubling this. I'm realizing how full it's already getting. And with gluten-free, I know when I first started, it was like, make sure you measure exactly, and that is so true. I should do that. But I do know, like, the pumpkin and the oil, they do end up being moist, and they are very good. I'm going to add some seasoning in there with the pumpkin, some cinnamon, and I think I just got these at Aldi's, but they are organic, and it calls for 1, so I'm going to put 2 in there, and I always throw an extra dash. So, and then ginger, like, and I don't even know if the original recipe called for that, but just something. I don't think my boys are too crazy about the strong taste of nutmeg, so I mean, you could put that in here instead. You really could, pumpkin wise, you could do any of the seasonings that you like for it. I don't even know, like I said, it was originally banana, so I just threw in that because of it being pumpkin. And then some salt. Make sure I get the salt in there. And that is I'm just going to put, it says 1 teaspoon, I'm sorry. So I'm just going to put 1. I'm not going to double that. And I always go down the list: baking powder and baking soda. This is the baking powder I use. Make sure you can see that. And the baking soda I've mentioned before in a different video. But this is hard to find, and it's really expensive in the baking powder, the Bob Red Mills. This is what I found so far. If anybody, I would like to find something that I am using. And it calls for 4 teaspoons, which I guess I could have used a tablespoon there. So I'm going to double it. 2, 3, 4. These 2 I probably try to measure out the most. And then really half a teaspoon of baking soda. So I'm just going to put a whole teaspoon in there. And I think that's it. I got the sugar, the vanilla, the pumpkin, the oats, the flour, the oil, the eggs. And then after I mix it up one more time, I'll add the chocolate chips. Does anybody else read over their list like that? Okay, this is my biggest bowl, and I think I did say it was 24 cups, and it's pretty full. Just gonna let you look inside it. So, I mean, it's up there. So, and that's a doubled recipe. So the last would be the chocolate chips, and it says 1 cup to 1.5 cups. I do measure these out too because I could easily overdo it. Like, I almost think 2 cups would be too much. Because once you mix it, I just want them in there enough for my boys to say, oh, it has chocolate chips. And it doesn't have to be like a massive amount. And like I said, even with the sugars, like the coconut, like when a recipe calls for sugar, I never use as much as it says. So I don't know what the original recipe said for sugar, but and one time I did it with just bananas. And I forgot the sugar. The boys said they tasted different, but they ate them. So, that will work. Okay, I'm going to fill these two 9x13 pans and split it the best I can figure here. This other one is a metal pan, so I just put some parchment paper in it. I sprayed it a tad. This gets heavy when you're holding it like this. So I'm going to smooth these out and get them in the oven for, I think it really depends on your oven. That means you might want to check them. But I have 365 to 375. I think the original recipe said 375, but I noticed that my oven will burn sometimes, so I always turn it down a tad. For 19 to 22 minutes, so I just check it and see, and maybe that's just gluten-free stuff and how it works, I don't know. But we will get that, we're gonna get that in the oven. Okay, I got both pans out of the oven. They're actually cooled off a little bit. I was gonna cut into one and let you see how thick it was. Now you could have done like 24 muffins, but for me, I didn't have muffin liners, and I do the muffins sometimes, but sometimes it's easier just to throw them in the pan and cut them up. I may actually cut that other pan up and use at least 1 gallon and put it in the freezer, because they won't eat them. I mean, they'll eat them, but not that fast. So, all right. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you all have a good day. Thanks.